From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the daily news for March 19th, 2026, and these are the stories we are covering at this hour. Qatar warned Thursday that additional Iranian missile attacks damaged more liquefied natural gas sites in the energy-rich nation, causing sizable fires and extensive further damage. Qatar Energy, the nation's state-owned oil and gas company, announced the damage. It said firefighters were working to halt the blazes and no one had been hurt so far. Qatar is a key source of natural gas for the world's energy markets. It already shut in its production earlier in the war, but the extensive damage could delay Qatar in getting its supplies to the market after the Iran war ends. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump pledged Israel would make no more attacks on Iran's major South Pars gas field, but if Iran attacked Qatar again, the U.S. would retaliate and massively blow up the entirety of the field. Trump made his threat on social media Wednesday night as the war roiled global energy markets and Iranian missiles hit Qatar. Trump said in his post that the U.S. knew nothing about the attack, but a person familiar with the matter said earlier Wednesday that the U.S. was informed about Israel's plans to strike the gas field, but did not take part. Trump said Qatar was in no way, shape, or form involved in Israel's attacks on Iran's gas field, but unfortunately, Iran did not know this and unjustifiably and unfairly attacked Qatar. I do not want to authorize this level of violence and destruction because of the long-term implications that it will have on the future of Iran, Trump said in his threat. He added that he would not hesitate to do so if Qatar's liquefied natural gas sites were attacked again. Turning to news here in the United States, the national debt surpassed a record $39 trillion on Wednesday, a milestone that comes just weeks into the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran. The unprecedented figure highlights competing administration priorities from passing a massive tax law and boosting defense spending and immigration enforcement to chipping away at the debt itself, the latter of which Donald Trump promised to do as both a candidate and as president. The Government Accountability Office outlined some of the impact of rising government debt on Americans, including higher borrowing costs for things like mortgages and cars, lower wages from businesses having less money available to invest, and more expensive goods and services. Advocates for a balanced budget also warn that the long-term trend of borrowing more and paying more in interest will force Americans to face tougher fiscal trade-offs ahead. Michael Peterson, chair and CEO of the nonprofit Peter G. Peterson Foundation, created to raise awareness of America's long-term fiscal challenges, said in a statement that we must recognize this alarming rate of growth and the significant financial burden we are putting on the next generation. And in Pennsylvania news, the run-up to construction season in northwest Pennsylvania continues to build with work to replace the Route 6 bridge in Crawford County, just south of Sagertown, ready to start barring any inclement weather. PennDOT announced that work to replace the bridge between the intersections of Morris Road and the intersection with Black Road is set to start on Monday, March 23rd, with major work starting on April 6th. PennDOT expects the project to be done by December and will require a detour for drivers and bicyclists. Traffic will be detoured to Interstate 79 and Route 198 from April 6th to October 23rd. And since Route 6 is a designated bike trail, bicyclists will be detoured to Route 198, Park Avenue Extension, Route 1001, and East Cole Road. That's news for this hour. We provide additional news coverage on the PEP Radio YouTube channel 7 days a week. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.